Hi there. Welcome to a special edition of the Enoch Pratt Current Event Quiz. What's happy this week? The Good News Quiz. I'm your host, Paula Willie. Tune in every Friday to test your knowledge of what's happening in the world. I'm going to give you 5 multiple choice questions about recent good news stories. Hey, there's no such thing as cheating when it comes to being well informed. You can ask a friend, you can pause the video and Google the answer, or you can just wait till the end when we tell you the answers. Any of those makes you a winner. Let's get to it. First question. Ants. Ants are found on all continents except Antarctica, and now they're found on Facebook too. There's a Facebook group called A Group Where We All Pretend to Be Ants in an Ant Colony. So, if you were an ant, what would be the proper response to that picture of a lollipop on the ground? Would it be A, attack, B, eat, C, lift, or D, grown-ups are weird? Ready for your second question? Many parts of the world have experienced serious wildfires in the past several years. In Chile, more than 1.4 million acres of forest were destroyed, as well as nearly 1,500 homes in fires in 2017. One effort to help the forests grow back involves using blank to distribute seeds of native plants and trees through the burned area. What is scattering seeds in Chile's burned forests? Is it A, drones, B, dogs, C, hot air balloons, or D, robots? Ready for question 3? If you think you get bored staying home, think about how boring life must be for zoo animals. Some animals, like these penguins in a zoo in England, rely on the stimulation of watching human visitors to the zoo. But when the zoo closed due to the coronavirus pandemic, the zookeepers racked their brains to figure out something that would keep the birds sharp and entertained. What did they come up with? Did they give them a set of swings? Did they bring in a karaoke machine? Did they give them walkie-talkies? Or did they install a bubble machine? What would keep you occupied? Ready for question 4. A major milestone in sports history occurred recently as coach Alyssa Nakken became the first woman to coach on field in which sport? A, baseball, B, football, C, soccer, or D, basketball? See if you can guess based on this picture. And for our last question, every summer the Alaska Department of Fish and Game counts the number of salmon swimming upstream in the state's waters. They do this because, according to an article in the Seattle Post-Intelligencer, salmon are an indicator species for the greater Pacific Rim. Indicator species are chosen for their sensitivity to environmental conditions. If an indicator species, like a salmon, declines in numbers or health, it's a sign to look for detrimental influences such as soil contamination, pollution, habitat destruction, or climate change. The National Wildlife Federation lists salmon as a species at risk due to these factors. So far this year, how's the salmon count look? A, pretty pitiful. B, lower than last year. C, about average. Or D, record-breaking highs. All right, that's our 5 questions. Do you think you have the answers? Let's take a look. Our first question was about the Facebook group, A Group Where We All Pretend to Be Ants in an Ant Colony. We asked what the proper ant response to this picture would be. The answer is C, lift, although the judges would also accept D, grown-ups are weird. More than 2 million people have joined this private Facebook group. According to the Washington Post, the group's concept is as simple as the rules. In this group, we are ants, reads the description. We worship the queen and do ant stuff. Welcome to the colony. As long as you're kind, avoid politics, don't employ any hate speech or bullying, remember that your name is ant-your name, For example, I'd be Aunt Paula. Wait a minute, I am Aunt Paula. This is confusing. You'll be graciously accepted as a member, which basically means when another ant posts a photo of food or of an attacking insect, you can respond in the comments with the appropriate command, like lift, eat, or bite. All right, that one's just silly. Question 2. In Chile, efforts are underway to try to restore the more than 1.4 million acres of forest that burned in wildfires 2 years ago. Check out this Instagram video posted by Francisca Torres. She and her sister Constanza own 3 border collies that have been trained to run through the damaged forests wearing special backpacks that release native plant seeds. According to an article on treehugger.com, these good doggies, Das and her 2 daughters, Olivia and Summer, can cover up to 18 miles a day, spreading over 20 pounds of seeds through the forest. Humans would only be able to do a few miles a day. Robots or drones may also be able to efficiently distribute the seeds, but the dogs not only cost less, but are better for the environment and cuter too. So the answer was B, dogs. Next question. We asked you to guess what the penguins get to play with at Newquay Zoo. And the answer was a bubble machine. Research has shown that animal enrichment programs are as important for the well-being of zoo animals as a nutritious diet and good veterinary care. Penguin caretaker Dan Trevelyan said the bubbles help to keep the penguins' predatory reflexes sharp. And if you think that I asked this question just so that I could show a video of penguins playing with bubbles, well, you are exactly right. In question 4, we asked which sport hit a significant milestone when Alyssa Nakken became the first woman to coach on field. Did you guess baseball? That's right. Alyssa Nakken took the field as a first base coach for the San Francisco Giants on July 20th, 2020. FYI, baseball has been a professional sport since 1869. Hey, while we're on the topic, let's look at these other sports. The NFL hit that milestone in 2016 when Catherine Smith became the first woman to hold a full-time coaching position. She worked as a special teams quality control coach for the Buffalo Bills. Helena Costa was the first woman to coach a major professional men's soccer team. She got that job in France in 2014. And Becky Hammon was the first woman to hold a full-time coaching position in the NBA when she was named an assistant coach for the San Antonio Spurs in 2014. All right, ladies. Last question. Hey, how are those salmon doing? The answer is C, about average. According to the Anchorage Daily News, the answer here is Anchor is about average or a little low. However, the salmon count on the Naknek River in Katmai National Park is set to break records, which is good news for the bears of Katmai Park. Oh, you can just barely see a bear behind this island in this live cam on explore.org. But you can see by all the birds around and all the activity in the water, there's a lot of salmon coming through. Explore.org has live cams of oceans. Oh, there we go. Look at those salmon jumping up the falls. And the bear waiting to eat them. You can find lots of live cams on explore.org. They'll show you bald eagles, they'll show you tropical reefs, and bears. Hey, I hope you enjoyed all this good news. We get our information from authoritative sources like the Washington Post, ESPN, The Guardian, and Explore.org. Check out their websites for interesting news and fun activities for kids.